Now we're moving to the dynamic warm-up. This is where we get to learn about our body in a deeper way. Okay, this is one of the most important parts of your Qigong training, because this is where the fascial bands, which are the Qi network, begin to both strengthen and lengthen. And remember, muscles are insulation for Qi. So if you start building too much muscle without doing this dynamic warm-up kind of stuff that we're going to do, you can actually become more stagnant and less flow, right? Which creates pain, discomfort, and basically lack of fluid movement. The first one is squat to stand. So you're gonna have your toes out, and this is a great test. Remember, this is all diagnostic as well. So as you go through this, you'll find certain pockets that are tighter, meaning you're gonna either use a foam roller or a lacrosse ball to open up some of these areas, okay? Shoulders back and down. Grab the feet. If you don't have shoes on, you can grab your toes if you want. And then the elbows press out on the inner thighs, so we're opening up the inner leg channels. This also helps clear and ground our root, okay? So if you are in relationship and you're finding that your emotional and sexual energy are getting too sticky, do this more frequently. Breathe down into the earth, reconnect to your center, your core, and breathe from the earth into your root, right into your genitals, right into your belly. And then we're gonna come up. The knees and the heels will gently come out. Then crown to the ground. Inhale, exhale. Notice how I exhale, I bring my heels in so the knees contract in alignment with the feet and the femur doesn't hit the hip bone. This is also super important because when we do this position, it allows an opening through the central channel. And if you look at other cultures, they all have the capacity. You see 50, 60-year-old women farming, or men doing this, and we know that this is a primary movement. This is how we poop. This is how we, so very important posture to be able to do. And then as you come up, we open the central channel, the hamstrings, the bladder channels, massage the kidneys. So maybe for you, you can't get this deep, totally fine. If you're up here like so, no problem. Don't force anything. And you start to feel that warmth, that tingling. We roughly do 5 to 7. Okay. From here, now we're gonna walk out into an upper plank position, shoulders back and down, fire through your lats. We're going into that downward dog. Press through the palms, keep firing through the lats, let the heels come down. I call this gas pedal. You're gonna bend one knee and then let the heel drop. Okay, and then other side. So we're opening up the lateral line of connective tissue as well as the back line and stabilizing the shoulder girdle. Pumping chi and blood from the legs through the sacrum, down the spine, increasing our cerebral spinal fluid. Okay, and then from here, we're going to drive level 1. You drop to your knees, monkey lunge, bring your right leg up, and the goal is to bring the foot up to the hand. If you're back here, no problem, okay? So this is going to show you how much more range you're getting over time. Shoulders back and down. Now we're going to pump this back leg up and down. So we're flexing the quad of the back leg, and it's like we're flossing through the inner leg channels. If you want to apply a little bit more activation of the groin, use your elbow, press the elbow in, let the hip externally rotate. Oh yeah, opening up inside leg channels, stabilizing the hips, dropping the shoulders. Then hold there, and now start to drive the elbow down nice and easy, a couple times. And if you're more advanced, you're feeling strong, you can let that back knee stay off the ground. Good. Then relax, go to the other side. pump. Shoulders back and down, extending through the crown. Press the elbow on the calf. Feel that flossing through the inner leg channels, the groin. So we're strengthening while lengthening. Getting that warmth in the tissues, melting the fascia. Good. Testing that range of motion. I want to come back. Now, one hand on the foot. Bring the hand so that it's right under the elbow and the shoulder. We want to stack the bones. Now, level 1, knee stays on the ground. Do about 5 to 10 circles. Level 2, straighten that back leg. And really listen to your intuition. This whole program is about learning and listening to your own body, your own wisdom. So if you want to extend the leg a little bit, all right, opening the outside leg channels through the glute, the other way. Remember, you can always drop back down to the knee if you need. Good, other side. Oh yeah. So we're increasing the spacing in the hip joint, increasing the synovial fluid, the blood, the chi. Oh man, this feels good. Nice and easy. And always go to the knee. You can use blocks if you don't have that range of motion in the hips yet. Okay? Just like this. And then bend or flex and bend. Flex and bend. And then when you do the circles, you can have your hand here and still creating space in the hip without putting too much pressure or tension on the hip joint itself. And you can do these one, boom. And you can always drop back down to the knee. That way we're safe, having a good time. Now we're gonna open the thoracic spine and the front deltoid. Hand right under the elbow, under the shoulder, flare the lat, press into the ground, press into Mother Earth. Right hand, I'm your mirror, on the knee. Gently rotate by pressing through the right hand and pressing through the knee. And beginning to look up toward the sky, drop the shoulders away. So opening the heart, clearing the tension in the front delt. Right here, you may notice tightness in the front shoulder and delt, so be very gentle, mindful. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. I roughly do 5 repetitions of these, of most everything, but I never count though. I just feel my body and I know when the time is right. So do the same. If you want to do longer, pause the video and keep going, okay? And then as that range of motion through the torso increases and the strength and stability in your hip and your leg increase, you can extend up into this posture and then reach up. So monkey lunge reach. And then it's just a hold. And back down. Other side. So we're also getting a little bit of hip flexor, not a ton. Stack the bones. Wrist, elbow, shoulder, foot, knee, hip. Also unwinding the neck. And then smile down. Big breath into your belly. Exhale, cleanse, release down into the earth. Working the spiral line of connective tissue, lateral line, as well as the front and back arm lines. Good. Now if you're feeling strong, flex that back leg, press through the front leg, press through the right hand on the ground, reach up to the heavens. Breathe in the light from the heavens through your heart, down into the earth. Fill your whole body with light. this bothers your neck, look straight ahead. Very nice. Relax back for a moment. Now we go into hip flexor. Level 1 is on the knees. This is super important because we spend so much time sitting down at desks, at cafes, driving. So we tuck the tailbone, let that back knee drive into the ground. This front knee will drive, or front heel will drive back, and start to feel that spacing increase in the front of the hips. And all the clients that I come across in medical Qigong, most people have tightness and stagnation in the hips, which disconnects us from our body, disconnects us from our place of power, our creativity, our sexuality. So this is one of the key movements here. And then once you start to feel that little opening and spacing in the front of the hips, inhale, reach up. If you need more balance, you can keep resting here and just reach back. Gently let the hips sink as you reach. Don't force anything. Lift through the rib cage, keep the shoulder down. And then you can exhale, come back to center. Inhale. Exhale, reach back. Once this begins to open, now as the hips tuck and sink, you can interlace the fingers and reach over. So we're providing a little bit of leverage by pulling this arm, opening up the lateral line, and then as the hips sink, we're opening up the deep psoas. Oh. Each inhale, fill your belly. Each exhale, reach and sink a little more. Then back. If you notice your glute getting tight, just open it up a little bit, tap it out. Other side. Tuck the tailbone first. Lift through the rib cage. Inhale. Reach. Exhale, begin to sink. Driving the front heel back, back knee forward, kind of like a scissor. Oh, so good. Come back, give it a relaxation. Inhale, reach. So we're pumping chi and blood. We're not holding it yet. Opening the tissue little by little. That pumping action helps increase the blood flow and circulation faster than going right into a hold. Now we'll hold it. Interlace the thumbs. Begin to reach over. Then relax. Inhale. Sink down. Exhale, reach to the sky. Smile down. Clearing down through the front of the belly. This deep psoas muscle that connects into the sacrum and the front of the pelvis. Good. And then back. If that glute feels tight, give it a little tap. Now, that's more recuperative and recoverative. That's more recuperative. Recuperative isn't a word. Just want to make sure you know that. Okay, now we come up. So it's more dynamic, now more strength. Now that it's open, right? You tuck the tailbone down, inhale. And be a little faster. So if you don't have a lot of hip issues, you can go right to this one as a dynamic warm-up, okay? And you'll know what to do. Now we're gonna reach over. Now let the arm come down. Flexion through both hands. Press through the earth. Press through the sky. And back up. So we're opening up on the right side, liver. Stretching, clearing anger, resentment, frustration. Good. Other side. Oh yeah, starting to sweat. Starting to feel all the muscles warm. Getting the chi flowing, baby. Press, press, dynamic tension. Reach through. Be gentle. Listen to your body. Scoop up. Very good. One of the other really common areas that get extremely tight and create low back pain or sciatic nerve pain that runs down the leg and then blocks the chi from nourishing the kidneys is tightness in glutes, piriformis, which is a deep layer, so foam rolling, using the lacrosse ball for myofascial release, super key and important in freeing up blockage and increasing flow of energy. Then the low back, sacrum, and right into the attachment point. So how we begin to open that and unwind that is basically a figure four. There's a number of ways we can do this figure four. Basically, it looks like this. I'll show you front side first. So we're working our balance and stability too. This is all active flexibility, dynamic flexibility. And then we hinge into the hips first. As we hinge, this front knee will slide a little bit. Chest up. Just like that. Pumping down, getting a little deeper. If you flex the foot toward the face, it'll activate that lateral line of the leg, and then working into the spiral line, right where the hip comes up, attaching into the low back. Okay, we want to try to keep the hips aligned as much as we can. And then as the range improves, you can start to bring the chest back down. Inching your way down. And then the most advanced level, once you're here, chest is down, I'm in this figure four squat. You can reach, let one hand hold if you need it. Begin to reach for the ground. And then we're gonna pump the leg, but stay in this folded position. So we're massaging and flossing through the outside glutes, low back, piriformis, freeing up the stagnant tension in the low back, helping heal the kidneys. Deep breath, feeling that line of connective tissue. So it goes down the gallbladder channel, which helps us release frustration, anger, that whole outside leg channel. The chi runs up and in, so that's why we're opening the groin, doing these deep flexion into the hips. And then now we're opening up the outside leg channels and freeing up the chi stuck right here through low back kidneys. If this is too challenging, for whatever reason, you can use a chair, a table here, and then you've got your support. The more advanced you get, the further it can be away. Shoulders back and down, sink down. So we're holding for about 2-3 seconds. Now, if you're noticing you have knee pain in this, that means that the VMO is probably too tight and the quads are too tight, meaning we got a foam roll, we got a lacrosse ball, this line about 2 inches above the kneecap, right in the attachment point, and then up through that front part of the quad, okay? If you're noticing too much tightness or pain in the hip, that means we gotta open up glute piriformis or the IT band, which connects from the knee right into the hip, okay? So this is all diagnostic. And you'll see a big difference doing foam rolling before and after. So for those of you that can't do the standing version for whatever reason, all good. This version is gonna be a little bit easier on the knee. So left knee will be bent, right foot on top, and you can start like this, right? And then gently begin to inch your way up as your glute becomes more pliable. And then you rotate small at first, one side, the other side, and you'll find those little sticky points in the connective tissue, in the fascia. You can pause there and breathe. Fill it with liquid light, and as you exhale, see it melting, opening, softening. Remember, if you flex the foot, you want to get more activation of that line. That line connecting into the glute, right into the hip. Ooh, yeah, this one's good. Nice and easy. Find a flow, a rhythm. It feels comfortable. Pause where you need to. Deepen the breath. Remember, the mind leads the chi. So see the energy flowing through the glute muscle, deep into the sacrum and the hip. Melting, cleansing, purifying. That's it. Go get them.